What's up, YouTube? We're back tonight with the Tactical Mossberg 520 gauge. We're getting ready to pretty much wrap up this project here pretty soon. I'm waiting for a couple parts to still come in. I want to get the adjustable cheek pad from Blackhawk for the stock, and a couple other things that are want items, not really need. What we're going to do tonight is we're going to go ahead and get the flip-up sights on the rail. And we're going to put the optic on, and that'll really get it to the point where we can debut it to the recipient tomorrow on Christmas Day. It's Christmas Eve around 10 o'clock at night or so. So I'm doing some final finishing touches on this, and we're gonna have it under the tree for tomorrow. But well, let's get going. And I'll show you guys what I chose for the optics and the sights and why I did that. But you know, I'm real happy with the way the project came out. I think it's a mean motor scooter. It looks pretty good. So let's get going. Thanks. So here it is, guys. Here's some of the accessories we're going to throw on. For now, we're going to go ahead and put some Troy battle sights on, front and rear. You know, wicked, awesome sights. Wasn't really what I had planned, but after I laid everything out, this is really, I think, going to be the best bet. So we got those front and rear, about 120 bucks a piece, in that ballpark. I've got an older TLR-1 from Streamlight with the metal body, pressure switch from Tacstar, and the optic I'm going to run is this ATN Ultrasight. Originally I planned on putting like a fast fire on there or something like that. I wanted something relatively small, but I just couldn't get anything to co-witness. Now with this ATN and these Troy battle sights, it's almost like they were made for each other on a rail mount, because they perfectly co-witness, and with them folded down, there's no obstruction for view into the reticle with the ATN. So, you know, just by stroke of luck, I decided to throw that on there and see how it looked, because I had it lying around and it looks good. You know, it functions exactly the way I want it to. These ATN sights are actually pretty cool. You know, they have 4 reticles on them. You can change them, you know, between different reticles. Let's see if I can get a look. There you go. So you got, you know, a couple different options. You have brightness control. So, you know, and I've had these before on other guns, and they've been durable. You know, I know some of the stuff from ATN is suspect, but some of the stuff they have is really good too. I don't think I need to do any introduction to the TLR-1. If you guys don't know what that is, wow, you're in the wrong place. But what I'm going to do is mount this pressure switch onto the shotgun, onto the slide, and we'll try it out and see if it works. I'm going to do an under barrel mount for now, but with the rail we have on there, we have a couple different choices to do that with. So let's get everything put on there. So first things first, let's go ahead and put the flashlight on. If you guys aren't familiar, the TLR-1s and a lot of the Streamlight products have a built-in mount. So basically you just loosen up this screw, and it's under spring tension, and it allows you to move the mount. So it's real easy to mount. Underneath on our quad rail, we have the rail underneath the barrel. That's where we're going to try right now. We're going to mount it somewhat far back, so we have a little bit of extra play on the pressure switch. And then once we have that in there, the pressure switch just plugs into the rear, and then you can mount it wherever you want. Okay, so we have the light mounted up on the bottom of the rail. And we've got our pressure switch. One thing that you might notice, I've tried to use, sticky sided Velcro, just a myriad of mounting solutions for these. One thing I've found that actually works pretty well, depending on what kind of gun you're using and where you're putting it, is hot glue. That's what I used on this one. This will really be a true test because we're going to pound on this gun a little bit and see how that holds up. But one thing I've had in the past when using Velcro is the adhesive just turns to mush and gets all over everything eventually. It's just not good, makes a big mess. As I'm sure everybody has seen from mounting, the lights, all you have to do is tighten this bolt up and that gives you a nice secure fit onto your rail. I just do these just a little bit past finger tight and that should be good to go. So now we'll go ahead and mount the front sight. I'll see if I can get you guys a good look at this. Troy Battlesight. The things are built like tanks. They're really, really, really nice sights. A little pricey, but definitely nice. So what we're going to do for this one is get it mounted in the farthest forward position. We might go back one more than that though. And all this is subject to change. Once we present it to my wife tomorrow, we want to make the radius work for her and make sure everything looks good for her. So there's with the sight up. There's with the sight down. Might lube these up a little bit too because it's a little bit stiff. I think one thing I'm going to do too is try and find a tritium post for that. Just to try one out. I don't have any tritium posts in any of my flip ups, so I think it's something that'd be cool to try just to see how well it works. So let's go put on the rear. So here we have the rear, dual aperture, same basic function as the front. Again, well built, way heavier than it would ever need to be from a toughness standpoint. Let's go ahead and get this on. Okay. You hear how solid that snap is? Wham! Okay, so now we'll go ahead and get the optic on. Like we talked about before, ATN Ultrasight. It also has an integral mount built in. One thing that's kind of a bummer about this sight is you see how you would mount it onto a flat top or a rail. The battery compartment's actually underneath. So if you have a battery go dead on you, you actually have to pull the sight off to get to the battery. CR2032 battery, the standard. I like these things. They're not the most attractive sights in the world, but they definitely do what they're supposed to do, and they're relatively inexpensive. So especially for this house to do what we're trying to make this gun for, home defense or possible sweeping of the house, I think it's a real good sight with a real big and open reticle area, so the objective is large, so it should be good no matter where we set the length of pull for my wife, myself, or our son. So this one's going to be a little bit tricky on where to set it, so we may have to do some changing tomorrow once we present this, and to really figure out where it needs to be. But again, I'm not Loctiting anything down with this. This is just a fit to get the thing under the tree. And I may actually go and do an over the shoulder to let you guys see what it looks like in low light and the co-witness with the reticle. But that is it, guys. You know, you can take a look. You can probably tell that the co-witness is almost perfect. So that's something I found pretty interesting on this, but there it is, guys, almost done. The practical to tactical Mossberg 520 gauge. Thanks for sticking with me through the project. We got a lot of interesting stuff coming up in 2013, so you know, please check us out again. Thanks.